right. Should be live. So yeah, here we are, Sunday morning. RPG chat and hangout with Juice Day. Not exactly sure what we're gonna do today. There's a couple things I want to get done. This is a new concept that I might do again on future Sundays, but I have a lot of videos I want to edit later, and getting up to do a stream like this gets me out here, gets me in, in the mode. So this is kind of just my morning kickoff kind of thing. Probably will use this time to socialize, answer your guys' questions if you have any, and work on some little projects. So one of the things I've been considering doing is updating my old settlement sheets and campaign planner sheets that are up on my website. They're branded with my old logo from when my channel was Tabletop Gaming with Juice. And I just thought that it would be a good idea to maybe just update those a little bit. So before I do that, though, I am going to share this link around to the stream. I have not done that this morning, so I will probably, in most instances, do that while on stream. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions you have, any of that good stuff, and I will do my best to answer them. And let's just have some fun, talk RPGs, and, enjoy each other's company for the morning, All right, here we go. We had, it was a slower week than normal, game-wise. We had a couple less streams, but yeah, it was still a good week. Oh, just a minute, guys. Just a minute. All right. So you might hear my son in the background. He's playing with his wrestlers in the garage because that's where we set up his stuff. But anyways, so can you hear him? There we go. Over to Facebook. Share it over there. This might also... Actually, I do need to make some Rifts characters, too. So maybe I'll make some Rifts characters today on stream. Because I have a one-shot for that coming up in just a couple weeks. So it would be cool to make those. What do you think of that? You want to make some Rifts characters? We could do that. That's probably what I should actually spend my time doing. I'll have to adjust the camera so you're not staring at the top of my head the whole time, though. Because otherwise I'm like... Oh, I guess I could type it up. That wouldn't be too bad, right? And then you still see my face. I could do screen share. I could do that. That wouldn't be too bad. There we go. You guys all ready for Christmas? I know I am. All of the things have been ordered. I think I've got 2 things coming in the mail. And that's it. And then I am done. Dunzo. So, kind of excited, actually, about Christmas this year. I think it's going to be a great time. I've been waiting for it. There it is. Right there. Perfect. Wonder what I'm going to get. The wife and I usually... we kind of budget for each other, like, a little over $100 for each other. And then, yeah. So, usually I get, like last year I got a few gaming things. It was really good. I was really excited. But she mixes it up. Every year it's a little different. So, we'll see. We will see. All right. All right. So, look at this heat. up a little. All right. So again, I could work on. What's up, Flynn? Never ready for Christmas. You sound like me, man. I always want to buy more for people, like always, like up until Christmas Eve. Like, I almost always go over budget just a little bit. So it's just how I am. In fact, yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw something and I was like, "Hey, Paula, should we get this for our daughter?" I saw something that I thought she would love, and Paula's like, "I don't know. I think we're good for now. Let's see about after Christmas." So, but that's just how I am. Someone must have got really hurt in wrestling because of Caleb over there. But yeah, so I don't know. We could do a lot of different things today, though. We could. Oh, so I've had these papers for a while. This is the D&D Next playtest. I finally reorganized it again. I used to have like the DM stuff in its own binder, and then the character creation stuff in another, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And then I took it all out and used the binders for something else, and I just finally got back to organizing it with the tabs. So you can see I've got, like, well, first of all, DM screen stuff right here in this slip. I just have to take it out if I want to do that. First section, obviously, rules, character creation, equipment, dungeon mastering, and then the bestiary. So all that's from the D&D Next playtest. I don't know why I'm really hanging on to it, other than I just think it's kind of cool to have. So, yeah. Anyways, kind of random. I've got a bunch of other binders over here with stuff in it, like this. I used to keep track of all the Unearthed Arcana, and so I used to print them out and put them in there, and errata, and things like that. I even have some third-party stuff in there. I don't know what's in this blue binder. Let me move my stuff here. These angels and things. These are fun. In case you can't tell, I'm kind of putting off working on something at the moment. Procrastinating. What is in this one? Oh, this is also Unearthed Arcana. I don't know why. I guess this one was also just Unearthed Arcana. Oh, it says it too. Unearthed Arcana. So, Unearthed Arcana. What was in this first one? Because it says third party as well. Now I'm curious. Oh, I've got the scores out for all the different point buy options you can actually have mathematically. The errata. Oh, I have it again right here. the combinations of attributes if you do point buy in D&D 5e. Elven trinkets. Oh, that's a fun one. The player's companion. I liked that they did this. I wish they did that for all of the adventure paths. I know Pathfinder does that a lot, and I wonder if they stopped because of that. Plane Shift Zendikar, because that was free as well on their website for a long time. I don't know if it still is. It probably is. Unearthed Arcana. What's towards the back? Oh, this is something that Chepe made. He made his own sorcerer thing called Powers Unrestrained. That's for download up on rpgjuice.com if you go over there. It's got like a blood magic sorcerer, a Medusa sorcerer, all sorts of cool stuff. It's really well done. Savant magic, things like that. So you can see it looks good. It's obviously, this was free because they use an artwork that wasn't, their own. Wasn't open source or anything like that. But it's a really nice looking thing. I think he said he put like over 100 hours into this thing too. So, and you can tell like it's well done. Like I've always allowed this in my home games. So yeah. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, so if you want to check that out, again, you can go download that. Then I have the Blood Magic section here. And then Dawn Forgecast made a 5e like companion kind of thing that has like optional rules and a bunch of other stuff, and that's in here as well. So, and he sent me that to review at one point. So, so that's why I got that in there. This, A Point of Inspiration, Critical Hit Publishing, Cinematic Environments. Cinematic Environments is a series with DBJ and Alex Gillette, and that's actually a really good one. My kids have stuff from Christmas last year they haven't messed with. Oh, wow. Like what? What did you get them that they haven't even played with? DM Sammy, I've been waiting in line for 5 hours. I don't want to miss this stream. I've missed so many. You know, Sammy, you can always watch the playbacks too, and just comment down in the comments. O'Neill Flynn, I like that setup. You should see my office. Oh, dude, this has been an ongoing thing to get it this way. All the plane shift settings are free still. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I've only got that one printed. I don't think I have all of them. I kind of stopped. I don't know what it is, but with 5e, I just stopped downloading all the stuff. I think it's because my printer stopped working. Like, that's the main thing. And once my printer stopped working and I couldn't print, actually print it out, I just stopped caring. Because I don't use PDFs. I hate PDFs. I'll let my players use PDFs, but I just can't stand them. So, it's just one of those things. But should put those away. Dice are officially put away. See, this is why I love sitting on this side of the desk. I used to sit right there on the couch. I didn't have a good spot to put everything, and so every time I use something from the bookshelf, I put it on a cube over there. I have a 4x2 shelf like this right here, and I used to put stuff in that cube, but I hated it because I always felt like stuff was out and it was messy, and now I feel like I can actually put it away and reach it, and it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Morning, Sammy, by the way. Hope you're having a good day. I know you said you're waiting in line for 5 hours. Okay, so this, I don't know why I did this either. So this binder, I have one of my favorite artists, Mike Muma stuff printed out. I think he did this too. He may not have done that one. That one I think is just from DC. The DC game by Green Ronin, but I don't remember. But I printed those out. But this is like a GM tips binder. So, for example, I printed this off from the Mud World blog, GM tips for RPG sessions. The problem is when I printed this, I printed it with all of the pop-ups on the screen. So, like, you can see at the bottom, this is covering the text. And I have that on every page about the cookie policy because I never clicked OK, which really sucks. But it talks about making like GM binders in here too, which I might just go have to find this again. Wow, that was a really messed up sentence. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. But I might have to go find this again and print it out again. Maybe I'll print it with color. Because I feel like when I originally saw this, I thought it was extremely helpful. And now I'm like, man, I don't know, because that bothers me. Player agency, or how I learned to say yes. Keep lists. Lists, I agree with that. Random is the key. Stats. Collect a stack of maps. And then a bunch of related posts. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, and then I got all the ads at the end. Like, I even included all the garbage pages that don't really matter. So, I don't know. I might just have to throw this out. We'll see. We will see. I'm going to leave it out. I'm not going to put it back in there. But yeah, so anyways, we have wonderful things like role-playing tips. Now, this website, you can sign up for their newsletter, and they'll send out tips every week. Every week to your email. So I actually interviewed John Four. He's the owner of the site. He's ran this site for like 15 years or something. Maybe even a little longer now that I'm thinking about it. But thousands. Like he's into the thousands of articles that he's written. Sometimes he does like 3 articles in a week, depending on what's going on. But some are really good, and for a while I was like, oh, I'll just save the ones that I think are really good. And so I used to do that. And so I've got probably a book. They're printed both 2 pages, 2 sides. So you can see, I'm gonna drop this down a little. You can see just how much is from his website right here. Like, and even some of the stuff later in here is from there. So, I have that, which again, he's given me a lot of cool ideas over the years. Like one of the things he helped me with was the GM binder that I do. I started originally doing them as like campaign binders for my specific campaigns, and thanks to him, I changed how I did that. Also printed out some other stuff that I've got PDFs of, some notes that I took while watching Rodney Thompson, Chris Perkins, Bruce Cordell talking about campaigns and things like that. This was the Adventure Builders Workshop. I have part 1 notes and part 2 notes. You can find that video still, I believe, on YouTube. Here's part 3 notes. So part 2 had a ton of stuff. Part 3 notes. Good stuff there. Good stuff. So all the way up to part 8, it looks like. So it must be 8 videos. GM's Guide to Writing Adventures, written by P. Sean O'Neill. Again, really cool stuff. GM's Guide to Campaign Design, written by the same guy. Instant Campaign Builder by DungeonMastering.com. And look at that, that's a lot of paper. That's only one-sided. I really wish I printed on 2 sides, but I think it was on a different printer at the time. I don't remember what this is. Oh, this is about scripting your campaigns. So, in other words, I think that's probably a little bit more railroady. I don't run games like that now. I made this like 6 years ago. So that's that's the other thing. I've added a couple things to it, but for the most part, this is all old, and I don't really follow a lot of it anymore. How to design a campaign, basic adventure format. So again, some of this stuff is kind of repetitive. Oh, this is cool. The 36 plots. So it goes over like the different kind of things that can happen. A revolt, revenge, pursuit, victim of cruelty or misfortune, sacrifice of loved ones, remorse, recovery. Like I've seen people actually, I think there's even less. I think there's like 10 different things that if you analyze it, 10 things that all campaigns kind of fall under. And I need to actually put that in here. That would be way more helpful, I think. Role-playing tips weekly supplemental. So this is, again, John 4 again, and this is a whole nother section of stuff that, he's offering advice on. So this, I think at this time I was copying and pasting it into Notepad. Not even Word, like the crappy Notepad that comes on everybody's computer. So it's just text. Like, just garbage text. Like, you probably can't even see it that well, but yeah, just text. That's all it is. Like, whatever. Overused standards of fantasy literature. The Great Disaster, Cataclysm, Doom. The Ancient Super Advanced Society. The Ancient Scholars Language. The Quest for the Uber Artifact Weapon. The Enemy. The Conquering Horde. The Undead. Elves, Dwarves, Trolls, Oh My. Fighters, Thieves, Mages, and Priests. Medieval setting. Crystals. That is definitely a popular one, right? Shards and crystals and all that good stuff. Big secrets and big plots in role-playing games. Variation in secret keeping. Small secrets. Add more secrets. Secrets and plots. Oh, here's a good one. 7 tips on how to create awesome encounters on the fly. I like that. That's, again, this is John 4 again. You can tell who I really respect and appreciate their advice, because I always get good ideas. What's up, Game On? Dude, I always say that. That's kind of like my catchphrase. I'm happy to have you, man. Yeah, I'm always like, this is Master of the Game. I am Juice. Game On. Like, that's my closeout. on like all streams. That's cool. What is the website? So the website, since I'm already through that for the most part, is roleplayingtips.com. I think it's all one word. If you type in John Johnn FOUR, he should pop up. But sign up to their little newsletter. You'll get like multiple emails a week from it, like 1 or 2. I think at most you'll get 3. Usually he's not selling anything, but occasionally he'll sell like a PDF he has. Like 5 Room Dungeons was one he did years ago. And ever since then, I've seen people talk about 5 Room Dungeons. He's done some other stuff. For a while, he was doing a class on how to release your own supplements and stuff. And that was pretty good, I think. He was collaborating with someone. Loved it. That's how we end our vids too. Be safe and game on. Game on. What kind of topics do you cover over on yours? I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't know if I'm subscribed or not. I have a section for player tips, and you can see I have a ton of them right here. None. I don't know if I was planning on putting stuff here, or if I took stuff out. I don't remember. But yeah, and then I have world building stuff, which I know with this section I just took stuff out. But it used to have all sorts of stuff. And then I have a couple empty sections in case I wanted to get more specific there too. So it might be one of those things to take the writers out and use them for something else because they're not getting used here basically. So, all right, now to get it back on the other side. I kind of like going through this old stuff too because then it inspires me to kind of work on new things. So that's why I'm doing it right now. This is something I would do if I was sitting here by myself not streaming. I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this. Because I do stuff like this all the time. I love to make things. Love to organize my helpful tips. That's just Kobold Guide to World Building PDF printed out. Here's absolute tabletop stuff. Oh, I realized that's still pointing upwards. Or downwards. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, there we go. Boop. Okay, so this one's absolute tabletop stuff. Back when they used to do all their stuff for free at first. There's a lot of stuff in there. Is it all absolute? Yeah, it's all absolute tabletop. So they used to, when they'd first release a product, it was free for like a week. And so I got a couple things back then, like Be a Better Campaign Master, which I really like Barker's stuff a lot, like the Be a Better Campaign Master, Be a Better whatever, Factions, Be a Better, yeah, Factions is the next one. Love this stuff because it's basically a bunch of charts and tables, which is kind of what they're known for, right? Be a Better Weapon Master, the first one. Now, at some point, when the second one came out, at that point they were only charging. And I have the second one. Tim sent me the second one at one point, and I never printed it out, I don't think. So that I need to add into here. But I have Aeronoth, the PDF. I have Aeronoth, the Wayward Wanderer. Brook. Then I have Dragon Grin, the Copper Jackals. Soldiers Without Compromise. And then I have a Cookbook of the Realms. And the Tieflings of Dragon Grin, Volume 1. And the Horror at Misty Meadows. So all that stuff is in here. I like these. Man, I got like all sorts of fuzzies all over my fleece. Man. But yeah, good stuff there. I'm really digging that stuff. Oh man, now I can't get this in there. There we go. Next one is, this is an old school. So this is D&D Book of Challenges, where it was like puzzles and traps. I have that. This green one I think is like a wilderness thing as well. Yeah, Wilderness Survival Guide. I don't know where I found that. I want to say it was like there's zombies. I think this is stuff that was free on Drive-Thru RPG or Pay What You Want. There's more than just that. There's actually quite a few third-party things in there. And the last section Yeah, Barker's awesome. I love how his mind works. Oh, it's 5e Star Wars. So fans made a Star Wars adaptation for 5e. There's actually a Discord for a whole nother Star Wars D&D thing. But that one gets updated so frequently that it's like I don't even want to try to keep up. So I stopped caring about that. But yeah, so all that's cool. This is my adventure creation binder. So it's thick. And I divide my adventure creation binder into a few sections. The very first thing is like GM binder tips for organized game masters from John 4. It's a few pages. It's like determine the best binder style for your use on the game table, at a side table, in your hand or lap. Pure reference to make notes in it. So like first try to figure out the purpose. Is it an in-game reference, out-of-game reference, campaign reference, idea generator? So for me, I use my binder more as an idea generator. It's for this one at least. This is for prep. This is how when I do homebrew, I used to always go to this and I'd roll random things. That was like my big thing. Now, again, there's some great stuff. Like I said, I found myself though over time. Oh, relationship table with fellow adventurers, just like the one I made, but completely different. Cool. If you become a patron, I have random tables I make about. We try to get one done a week. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 weeks. Like the last one we did was a D100 Cavern Encounters table, and that one has quite a few things. Like it's not just monsters or traps. Some of it is just prompts, like to inspire a DM. But it might be you walk into a room and you see this, and that's it. You know. Matt clicks a fistful of dice, random D&D character generator. So I have dice for this now, so I don't technically need it, but it's got the different races, uncommon races, background, class, all that you can just randomly roll. So that's cool. But I have dice now for like, you can randomly roll your alignment, your class, your race, all that. First section in here, though, is about characters, like NPCs. And it's basically a bunch of things from this book. Now, this book, I don't care if you play D&D, Pathfinder, or some other fantasy game. I feel like this is one of the best resources you could ever have. Ever. There's so many tables, so many. It's really endless. Like I would say the first, I don't know, 100 pages maybe. I think it's a little more than that, or whatever. But you get into tables around like 120, and it's just pages of tables. Like look at that, just tables. There's not tables there. But it's like, and this stuff is just helpful. It's all system neutral stuff, basically, at this point. You know, like geography, starting size, terrain hierarchy. Like, this is just a really good book. But I've always felt like I got the most out of this book when it came to prep. And so I've taken a lot of the stuff out of here. I've photocopied it, and it's in here. So, got a lot of that stuff. Now, do I need it twice? No, not at all. But yeah, I've got like tons of pages in here. So like first page, NPC backgrounds, NPC goals, NPC physical characteristics, personality characteristics, occupations, NPC secrets, NPC rewards for heroic deeds, random adventure party name generator, cultural titles. You know, that's my whole NPC section in here. It's really good. Let me read some comments and all that stuff. So, DM Sammy, do you have any advice for free Pathfinder material? Honestly, so a couple things. If you're playing first edition, you can probably find a bunch of stuff if you go to Drive-Thru RPG, look up Pay What You Want, or free stuff. You can find stuff. I don't know how good it is. I've managed to get a couple cool things over the years. Legendary weapons, I think. So there's some cool stuff in here. Unorthodox treasures. This one's really cool. This one has some random stuff that's like goofy, things like that. Let's see. Brooch of Beauty. This flower brooch comes in 3 flavors. It either appears as a daisy, a rose, or a tulip. When worn, it immediately grants you a proficiency with every charisma-based skill. So that's kind of powerful, but a cool fez. So anyways, some cool stuff in here. I think I got my mud ring idea that I gave my goblins in a game from this. And the players thought it was hilarious. They thought it was stupid, but they thought it was hilarious. They did use it a few times, though. The idea is you had this ring that automatically allowed you to throw mud. And if you hit, then it wasn't like their vision was obscured. So they had like disadvantage in 5e because I adapted it to that. And if they have disadvantage, you know, they could spend an action to clean out their eyes with their hand and be normal again. Or they could continue to fight with mud in their eyes. Always thought that was cool. As for second edition, if you go to, I think it's Armor of Nethys, NETHYS.com, you can get everything they've put out for free. It's all there. You can't download it. It's just embedded in the website. And Paizo knows. Paizo's cool with it. But it's all over there if you actually want to check out all the free stuff. You don't have to buy second edition. So you can do that. But other than that, I would just say drive through RPG. I don't have any other advice on getting free stuff. If you're asking about like pirated stuff, I don't promote that. So I can't help you there. Game On says RPG related vids mostly. I don't know if I found you through Twitter, Icarus Discord, or randomness. It could be all of that actually. I think I've got like 2,000 followers on Twitter. And then yeah, I'm on Icarus Discord. I'm just not on there very often. That's all. Logo Sarsgaard. Barker is so dope. Oh, I love Barker. I loved playing in Provoker Season 1 when we used to do... Barker was playing Dice, and obviously Tim was playing Durgan. Some of the stuff that happened in that campaign, it was some of the best experiences of my gaming life. Especially back then, like, I was not used to that style of play, and it totally opened my eyes. Before that, I was probably one of those players you wouldn't want to necessarily play with, because to me it was all about combat. I did not understand yet, and this was 20 years into gaming for me, but I didn't understand yet how role-playing could really make a game fun at that time. So yeah, it opened my eyes. I mean, I understood, but I never really experienced it is all. I have the 5e conversion for Star Wars. Never did a vid on it though. Yeah, I wouldn't do an actual video on it. But yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan lately. I didn't grow up a Star Wars fan, but I'm definitely one the last 5 to 10 years. I've become more and more into it, especially Mandalorian. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. DM saying, I tried doing a Star Wars RPG with some friends, but it never ended up happening. The system we were using was way too complicated. The Fantasy Flight Star Wars is awesome. I'm planning on getting all the box sets after Christmas, and then I'm gonna buy a couple of the core books, and I should be happy with that. We'll see. We'll go from there though. Game On says, I made a random generator for 5e character creation in the vein of Traveler. Yep. Basically gives you a story to start with. Got a couple gold stars on Reddit. That's cool. I don't even mess with Reddit. I used to try and go on there like 5-6 years ago when it seemed moderately okay, but it got so, like, it just started really bothering me. Like, everyone was so negative after a while that I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, there's definitely an air of elitism, it seems, on Reddit, and it just, like, people will just crucify, like, posts for no reason. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's a good post, and I'll start reading it, and then I'll go into the comments, and it's like, what? And then I'll notice, like, it's got a bunch of downvotes. Like, no, I always hated that. I hear West End's pretty easy. I actually have, like, I've heard most of the Star Wars games are awesome. The D20 one was not balanced well. But yeah, I don't know. So I got like 2 separate tabs in my NPC section in here, like 2 dividers here. I don't know why. There's nothing written on them. I just put stuff in here. Then I get into places. So I have 7 tips on how to create awesome encounters on the fly. I don't know why that's right here. It should not even be in this one, but it is. But then I get into, again, Pathfinder Game Master Guide stuff. Unique city decorations, such as a black stone pyramid 20 feet high. Shop names. An example would be the Crow's Nest, ropes and rigging, which is kind of cool. Ooh, that's weird. 100 city locations, such as like a tavern, a bathhouse, and kind of says what they do too. So like, you know, a bathhouse, building for public bathing and cleansing, you know. A table for if you're ever in a like gladiatorial arena. A castle or estate, like all the type of people you might run into. A menagerie or museum, and it has like different types of monsters, like iron cobras, skeletal champions. A rooftop, like so what kind of things you might encounter there. A sewer, a tavern, a slum, a thieves guild. Then I have 100 non-combat random encounters in an urban environment, which props to this person because 100's a lot. I always find myself running out of steam at about 40. A bird leaves a character a present directly on their head. Oh my gosh. I had that happen once on one of my hats. I think I threw the hat out. Let's see. Game On says, I have it open to the public. I can link it if you'd like. The Traveler Style Creation. I would love to check that out. I'd be open to checking that out. Reddit will destroy you. Oh, yeah. I stopped trying Reddit a long time ago. Like, the funny thing is I would go on there and just, like, chat. Like, I didn't, like, self-promote. And then all of a sudden I would self-promote once every, like, 30, you know, posts. And then people would be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, they would just go off on you, man. I don't know. It was weird. Didn't like it. Tavern Toolbox. Unique tavern traits. Random tavern name generator. Menu items, amenities. Again, this is mostly the Game Master Guide. Wilderness Toolbox, bunch of wilderness things. I could do this all day because this is a thick section. And this is all from that one book. So again, I don't know why I felt the need to reprint it. My plan, so one of the things I'm doing, I actually started making notes on it, and something I've been wanting to do for a couple years is redo this binder with nothing but my own ideas. Because like, or something that's like some really obscure website that I would never go to and look up again. But I want to get rid of like all that Pathfinder stuff out of this, right? I love it, but I have it in a book. I don't need it in this binder. So I want to make my own thing. I thought it'd be cool if I made enough things to actually put out like an actual book of tables, and just call it my adventure creation book. Put it up on drive-thru as like a print on demand or something. I thought that would be kind of cool. All system neutral. So now here I am in Role Playing Tips Weekly Supplement from John 4 called Minor Rewards Ideas. This is a thick section again. So I don't know how many pages, maybe, oh, it's two-sided too. Let's see, if I go to the last page, how many are in here? Oh, it changed, it's, okay, it's like multiple tables, multiple lists. Okay. Oh, it's like 1 through 50 over and over again, for whatever reason. An example would be, fresh basilisk droppings requires a living monster as source. As for basilisk droppings, everybody knows they turn to stone if exposed to sunlight for more than a few minutes. And who knows why someone would want any, but this is what the client ordered. So how does an adventurer go about getting some? I don't know. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of funny stuff like that. But anyways, oh, so this is cool. This was something I reviewed a while back. It's on the DM's Guild called Ancestral Weapons. This is one of those few PDFs I like. Now, I don't like PDFs because I don't like reading them. They're too big usually. Like, it's just too much, and I don't like staring at my computer that long. But this was not a massive PDF. It's like, what, 30 pages? Yeah, it's 28 pages, 29 pages. That's well worth it, in my opinion. And so I did a review, so if you ever want to check that out, go ahead. But you can basically make a weapon for all your characters at level 1. And it kind of can grow with them. Like, they can spend points, I believe, if I remember right, to, like, upgrade it at certain levels. And so it grows with power. Like, the power grows with them. So it's cool. Then the next section is events. Tools for game masters. Plots. For example, steal. Work for good-fronted merchant group to steal an object they stole in the first place. MacGuffins, plot twists, bunch of other random tables and stuff. You can see I got like different dividers here for different sections, but there's some stuff there. 1,372 roadside encounter ideas. You heard that right, 1,372. That's from Role Playing Tips. So occasionally he'll ask in his newsletter, he'll throw out like a concept for coming up with ideas that should help people come up with their own ideas. And he'll say, email back, submit your ideas, and we'll compile them in a list. And these are like free things that he then puts up as a PDF for people to download. And so I got that. For example, 1,256, a lost child sobs beneath an oak tree. 1245, a dozen vehicles, each traveling at high speed, come barreling down the road towards you. 1254, ghouls and zombies emerge from the shadows of the roadside woods. Instead of attacking, the entities wail mysterious warnings to leave the road. I like that a lot, actually. But yeah, there's good stuff like that. More RPG tips, role-playing tips, wilderness encounter ideas. This one's not numbered, but there's a bunch. Basically, they're like little adventures. Vertical battle, flooded burial ground, scorpion menace, birdmen attack, green river of blood. So there's that. Then, so this is something that I struggle with, and so this section is very important to me. This last section is supposed to be like puzzles and riddles and stuff. And this is the infamous Netbook Riddles. This was from 2004. Written and compiled in 1993 by Mark Manning, a poet. And it's just different types of riddles and things like that, I think. Oh, wow. Some of them have multiple answers. And these are taken from different places. So, like, by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Hobbit. Voiceless it cries, wingless it flutters, toothless bites, mouthless mutters. Yeah, anyways, a bunch of different, like, riddles and puzzles that you can use for your stuff. And then the last stuff is, like, errata. I have the monsters by challenge rating from the monster manual for 5e. A spell list for 5e, because the last section is kind of like rules, clarifications, and things like that. So, not really an adventure creation thing necessarily, but still very helpful if you're prepping and you had a question from like the previous session. So again, this is something that I used to use all the time, every single session before we played, and that was actually how I did most of my prep. Most of my stuff was completely random. Like, if I had an idea, I'd go with it, or if I knew the players were going after something, I'd go with it. But I would always try to add something new in a session based on that. And I did that for all my games. I don't do that as much anymore. Most of my stuff now is either more deliberate or I'm running a module, right? DM Sammy says, I got crucified on Reddit a few times, mostly for my ignorance concerning hot topics. Yeah. Again, Reddit's tough. It's a tough cookie to crack, for sure. What else do I got here? I got some good stuff. 5e stuff. This is all spells. So that's all just D&D spells. And then I got my boxes of spell cards. Got some 3D printed stuff that Paul on my Discord made for me. Lord Luapsor. He also made the wooden box up there for healing potions. That's cool. Got some cool stuff over here, obviously, this is puzzle book. Wally DM's puzzle book. Love that. Review will be coming very soon. I will probably work on that later today, actually. I got more binders on the bottom, but I don't know what they are. I've got like specific binders for game systems too. So like down here is Palladium stuff. So like I've got like characters and things like that. Might even already have characters that I can use for that one shot. So that'd be cool. What's this? Ooh. Oh, this was the D&D Next playtest adventures. Minds of Madness, but you can see on the corner down there, it says D&D Next playtest. So when they were doing the playtest, they were giving out old adventure paths or whatever for free for you to run your 5e playtest material in. And there's some good ones. So there's the Minds of Madness, the Isle of Dread. This next one is not from that. It's just something I found free on drive-thru. The Throne Room of the Raven Queen. So that was like a free map thing. I used to run some Adventurers League, so I got some stuff for that. That's cool. Because back then, actually, I still think 5e. Ooh, I got a bunch of clear. Ooh, bunch of clear sheets. I didn't know this is where these were. Well, that's nice. I need to use this. And a bunch of dividers not being used. I should probably take those out of there. Again, interesting what I'm finding today. I'm kind of glad. Oh, those are these right here. Magic item cards from Adventures League when I used to run it. The store closed, so you know, I just have these things. Belt of Dwarven Kind. It tells you what it does. And then the back is you're supposed to be able to fill it out and put like the player's DC number and things like that. So I got a bunch of these. At one point I was like, oh, maybe I'll give them just to my players in my home games and we'll just use these. But no, we never did. I think I tried a couple times, but it just didn't stick for us. So I've got actual magic item spell cards that I bought. So, you know. I remember those Next adventures. Oh, dude, they're great, aren't they? Shudders in Dead and Thigh. So I don't have that one. I only have a couple of them for some reason. I don't know what happened to the rest that I had. But yeah, there's some cool stuff. I love it. Absolutely love it. I still have a bunch of D&D Next adventures up here. I have the folders based on the whatever faction you were for Tyranny of or for Princes of the Apocalypse. I also have an Adventures League poster for that as well. Oh, here, Glitter Boy art. Because I used to be a huge Palladium Books fan. Still like their stuff, but not as diehard about it. Oh, some good stuff. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the other day, Paizo sent me some stuff. I've got a video up about that. I have the beginner box that I will be doing a review on, like a full-on, in-depth, looking at everything review. And I also have the monster cards. And the monster cards are sweet. Like, I got their spell cards. The spell cards I bought. But if you play Pathfinder 2nd edition, you want this. I want the 1st edition one now. I need to get the Monster Manual 1 or Bestiary 1. But this, I'm just going to pull up a couple. One side is the picture. The back side is the stat block. And it's everything you need, like it's right out of the book. Some things that are really big will be multiple cards. And on multiple cards, they'll have the picture on the one side, you know, and then they'll have the stat block just taking up multiple cards on the other side. Okay, here's an example. So this is the Arshan Bastion. It's a 20th level creature. And then you get, boom, two cards of stats. They're big too. These are some good sized cards. I love them. Absolutely love those. Like if you're playing in person, you could like get a little wood slat thing and just set the monster cards in it. Might even be able to use initiative tents to slide into those slats, and so then you can tell which initiative order. So I love that. Love that. I personally, so what I do is I actually have, I make little tents for the top of my DM screen, and I just put them on there, and I just have one that says monsters. But might have to make something that I can like pinch down on the top of my DM screen to slide these into. That I think would be kind of cool. But these are really cool. I'm gonna have a full-on review of these hopefully this week, and I'm looking forward to it. These are really cool. So yeah, we're gonna have quite a few videos going up over the next couple weeks. Today, after I end the stream, I'm going straight into. Oh, here we go. Hey, Paul, I was just talking about you. Yes, this is the new setup. I'm on the opposite side of the table now. I actually mentioned the stuff you 3D printed for me right here. So like the spell trackers and stuff, and I mentioned the box of healing potions. Awesome. A paperclip will work. Yeah, the paperclips, they kind of, so I'm really weird about my stuff. I don't want to like dent the cards or leave marks on them. So I would almost rather have something that either pinches down on it or something that it can slide into deep enough but loose enough that it's not going to damage it. I'm super weird about my physical stuff. I just am. Like even with books, like I really hate sharing. So for example, where is it? I have one book for 5e. I have 3 players' handbooks, but this one is the only one I will share with people. The only one. And it's also the one that if I need something, I pull it up too, because this is the one book that I'm like, if this one gets damaged, I'm just okay with it. But I get so worried that like my books are gonna get scratches or whatever that, you know, I'm moderately OCD. Most people don't realize that because I will bite my tongue if they do start using one of my other books. But yes, I'm very weird about that. In the middle of redesigning the box for a laser cutter. Are you really? You should, man. They're cool. I think they're awesome. Without playing in-person games, I haven't used it though. That's the bummer, kind of. But I love using it. Yes. Yep. I'll use the other books myself, but I like my Xanathar's Guide. I only have the special edition book, and so when people are like, "Oh, can I make something out of that?" I'm like, "Yeah, use it on D&D Beyond." Like I'll share the link with them, but I'm like, I'm not wanting people to use that. Like Paula has used it. Paula will write. She'll put her character sheet in the book on the opposite page of what she's reading, and she'll start writing. And I like cringe when she does that. Like to me, that's worse than nails on a chalkboard. Like I'm always weird about it. Always have been. But yeah, so I actually, and here's the other thing. So my Pathfinder core rulebook is right here. And in here, it's the first page. So this was given to me as a Father's Day gift, which is awesome. And I love that they did this. So Paula had all the kids write in it. Love you, have a nice day. I hop, you love today. It's supposed to say love daddy or something like that. I don't know, but it's cute. And then Paula said we wanted to give you an early Father's Day gift. And then, she signed it for all of them. So I would like to just make this just stay up there, and I would love to buy 2 more of these. But here's the thing. So I've already got a dent here. You know, like this is stuff that bothers me. Like I don't like my books having dents and stuff. And then because it sits on a shelf, the pages start to bow down, right? You see how it kind of dips? So I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it here. By the way, this Dragon Age book is thick. All the pages have sunk, so they're flush with the bottom because of sitting on a bookshelf. So there's that. But oh well, that's another thing that bothers me. I want my books to stay in mint shape, like almost all the time, and like I almost want like a collection version, and then I also want like table versions because I'm weird like that. Game On says I use a highlighter in my book. Ooh, yeah, I can't do that. No. Oh, actually, in Fall of Plaguestone, I have. So I'm running this currently on Fridays for my group, and I have highlighted stuff in this book. So things that made it easier for me so that I didn't miss stuff, and I made sure I kind of role-played it out. So I have done that as well. But yeah. I don't do that a lot. I mean, I agree with you. It is a tool. For me, like, money has always been a little bit tight. I grew up really poor, and so, like, to me, the idea of, like, if I were to buy it from someone and it had that stuff, it would bother me, right? And so the idea of putting it in there, like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I don't know if I ever want to do that. I don't know. It's just something about me, I guess. And maybe I'm trying to justify my logic, but to me, it's just not something I want to do. Paul says that's why I want the box set so I can have a pretty one in the shelf and have a table. Yeah, a table copy for sure. Oh, all right. You do your thing, Paul. Go save lives, man. Danielle, welcome, buddy. Hello, folks. What's new with you? Just talking about stuff. Just talking about books and how we are about our books. Again, I think if I had more money and I would probably keep a collector's version of certain things. Not like that module, right? I'm not too worried about that. Just like if I end up getting the Slithering and I run that, I'll probably highlight that one too. Those aren't things that I would necessarily be opposed to marking up or them getting ruined, right? It's more like the hardcover books for me. I do have like some other books that have markings in them, but I didn't put the markings there. So Palladium Books makes soft cover books. They're like $20-$25, right? In fact, this one at the time was $19.95. So that's how much it cost. But like you can see, because it's soft cover, the spine's all jacked. I bought this used, but over time, just from using it, it gets these little ripples from that like clear thing. Same thing on the back. And usually you notice the book starts curving as well, based on how you look at the book. So like you go like this, the back starts curling, kind of thing. But I believe this book has markings in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was this one. It may have been a different book I bought from the same person. But I bought this like 8 years ago. Maybe, yeah, it can't be this one. It's not this one. I don't know. It's one of these books. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll fix that later. But yeah, so it's just how I am. So I don't know. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Does that make me weird that I'm like super awkward about my books? I've met other people who are the same way, who they don't like to share their books. I've met people who are really, like, I'm only a little bit weird about my dice, but I've met people who will not let you use their dice at all, even if you ask. Or they'll have a designated set that they'll go, well, I got this one you can use. And it's like their crummy, mismatched, like faded dice or something. I have enough dice sets that I have a few that I'll give people, but they're still pretty nice. My wife, so we've had game night and had people over, and my wife has given out some of my better sets to people who didn't bring their own dice. I'm like, what are you doing? I use that set. Here, use this. Because I just, like, there's a couple sets I really like to use. Excuse me. But there's a lot of people who I've met who won't even let you touch their dice, no matter what. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe. I don't know. Raphael says, "Yup, I'm 52 and still do this with books and dice." Oh, so you don't let people use your books or dice either? Yeah, see, I don't think that's a bad thing. You're just protective, right? Oh, I went mute? Oh, no. Oh, it's probably because I had my mouth covered or I was looking back. I'm okay with sharing everything if it means more people will play. Not now, though. Stay 6 feet from me. Yeah, we haven't played in person since February. So, yeah. I'm with you, Game On. Like, I would not outright say no. Like, if someone asked if they could look at, like, the Xanathar's guide or whatever for their character, I would hand it over. I'm not, like, super anal about it, but I will be, like, biting my tongue and things like that. Like, I've handed my book to people, and they do that thing where when they're flipping through the book, they're going through the pages, like, really quick. They're like, you know, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna rip. Like, it just freaks me out. So, I don't know. Or the people that lick their finger. Like, I hate that. I buy extra copies of core books and dice. Yeah, I have. So I said I have 3. I personally have 3 of these. However, I have one for my daughter as well that I don't touch, and I don't let people touch. So she's got her own. In fact, my daughter's got some really nice stuff. I was looking for gift ideas for her birthday this year, and someone bought her a gift card for Elderwood Academy, and so she got a couple cool things. Actually, my wife and I went and picked it out, so we got her this. And the latch comes out, and it opens. And she's got little dice, little tiny metal dice. And you can write on here to keep track of your spells. And I actually started playing D&D with her. I actually, before this, did. But yeah, so we got these little tiny colored dice for her. She was pretty ecstatic. And then at the same time, someone actually was like, hey, I want to donate a book for her, but you have to promise to do such and such. So we did. And so she got her own book. And we've honored that. I don't mess with her book, no matter what. Even if, like, we don't have enough books at the table, it's her book. I don't pull it out for anybody except, you know, I just leave it there. So that's just kind of how we are with it. Actually, we're going to be doing that again, probably starting a little after Christmas. We'll probably start running games for her again on this channel. It's a more casual game. It's more improv. I don't really prep much. Actually, I don't prep at all, other than miniatures and a map. And we just play a little casual game here on this channel. We haven't done it in a long time, but we will get back to that. And then fantasydice.com, I believe, sent her this. I think it's Fantasy Dice. I can't remember all of a sudden. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure it's Fantasy Dice. And they sent her a free set of dice. And then we had already had a set of dice for her from a few years ago. And these ones right here, I believe, were the dice she had already. And then these ones, I think, came with this. So yeah, really cool. There's some awesome people in our community. So, you know. Game On says, see you guys. I'm getting ready to upload my vid, so gotta work on that. Hey, you go do that, man. And if you're not in my Discord, you should join it. You can post your link in there. I have a promotions channel, so would love to have you over there, Game On. Yeah, good stuff. So, anyways, it's as crummy as this year's been for a lot of people. This year's not been that bad for me. I'm an extremely social person, but I'm also kind of an introvert. And honestly, being able to like not always go out when people want you to and stuff is kind of nice. It's allowed me to do more on my channel, more videos, more streams. This year, I got an email from YouTube, and it's like a year in review. I'm gonna pull that up because some of these numbers are just mind blowing to me. One in particular stood out, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" I want to say it's like how much time worth of content I put out this year. Let me see. Master the game. When 2020 went off script, you kept us inspired by uploading 21,464 minutes of content. Your hard work's worth celebrating. Let's take a moment to reflect. Hashtag my year in review. I joined YouTube 3,180 days ago. So back, that's not actually true. It's actually longer than that. But this channel in particular has been around since 2012. And I've gone, originally it was just Juce 734. Then it was like wrestling with RPGs. And then I changed it to tabletop gaming with Juce, all within like 2 years. And then a few years ago, I was like, I don't like tabletop gaming with Juce. That's, in my opinion, too tied to me personally. And I wanted something that one day is maybe something that I, pay people to run, like to do videos on my channel or whatever. Like I have bigger ideas down the road for my channel. And so I rebranded to Master the Game. And that was actually after Gen Con 50. I did that. I went with Cody from Taking 20. And we were talking the first night about my channel. And throughout that weekend, I talked with him, Bill Allen, some other people. And eventually I came up with the idea that of what the channel was going to be. And my channel's changed a little since then, quite a bit. In fact, this year we really became a live streaming channel for the most part. We came mostly actual play. We do videos. We try to do at least one video per week, but we do 5 streams a week right now. And COVID is a big reason for that. From your first video upload until now, your fans have smashed that like button 10,559 times. Your community's growing. They've left 26,691 comments and shared your videos 1,078 times. Like, just these numbers are staggering to me. You made 2020 your own this past year. You gained 611 subscribers, which isn't that many. I've had years where I've gained more. And then 61,732 new views. I don't know if that means just views in general. I think that's what it means. But by it saying new views, that makes me think like unique views, and that's just not true. Viewers spent 500,000 minutes watching your videos in 2020. Your fans can't get enough. Your videos received 3,097 likes, and your channel had quite the year. Enrolled in the YouTube Partner Program. I used to be in the Partner Program back in 2014. And then I kind of went silent for a year in 2016. And so, yeah, anyways, all of it just went right into the gutter. In fact, it's taken me until this year to see the numbers I had back then. By being inactive for a year, it really, really crushed how the channel was recognized by YouTube. But it doesn't matter. It wasn't a big deal back then. So, I joined. I'll post there too. Awesome. I look forward to it. Oh, I missed a couple. Raphael says our FLGS has been open to gamers all year with masks optional, and miraculously no one has gotten sick. Wow. Where do you live? Like what city? Oof. But haven't been able to catch up with any scheduled games from your channel. Yeah, we have quite a few. This week we have 4 games. We have the Beck Me game on Tuesday that I'm a player in. We have Pulp Cthulhu on Thursday that I'm a player in. That one's weekly, Pulp Cthulhu. The Beck Me game's every other week. Friday is our every other week Pathfinder 2e Fall of Plaguestone game. And then Saturday is one of our 3 every 4th week D&D games. And that one is my homebrew Blackrock Adventurers game. So I got to prep for that today as well. Got a lot of stuff going on. Colorado Springs. Wow. That's amazing. So I've known quite a few people who've gotten sick. So one of them, our friend, he's a prison guard, and he got sick about a month ago. So it took a while before he got sick, but he did. And then my brother-in-law got sick, and he's definitely somebody who's probably thinks masks and all that are overrated. But yeah, him and his wife tested positive, and so then they just quarantined themselves with their daughters or something. But within a week, he started a new job, so I'm sure he just went there with COVID and didn't care, which is really kind of annoying in my opinion. Not the right thing to do, but whatever. Knowingly going to a job when you're 6 days in, after your COVID test, But whatever. But yeah, we've known quite a few people. I actually know a couple people who have died too, or who have had a parent die or something. So, yeah, it's not a fun year in that regard, But it is what it is. I've only been to the game store once or twice, and we have a small one in town here, but they are strictly enforcing the masks, and I'm high risk, so I'm obviously overweight, diabetes, so I definitely take it seriously to the point where I wear a mask no matter what. I try not to go into places, but I've been into the game store I think twice. Once was to look for a birthday present, and the other time was to look at a Christmas present. So that was it. Other than that, I've been into Five Below, I think, 3 times this year. But I go when they first open and no one's there. And I've gone to the grocery store a few times, but I go later than 9 o'clock at night. We usually do not delivery, but pickup for groceries. And I go into the gas station occasionally. And that one's probably the worst. So, Raphael says, my brother is a truck driver and wore his mask religiously and still wound up getting sick. He was so mad. Yeah. And they say the mask isn't to keep you from getting sick. It only, depending on the type of mask you use, you're talking about a maximum of 50%, efficient for you. It depends on what other people are doing. And here's the other thing. If other people, before they put their mask on, they cough into their hand or whatever, and then put their mask on, and then they're touching the handle that you're going to touch, you got to wash your hands, so it's more than just, hey, yeah, everyone's wearing a mask. There's still a chance, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but yeah, our Descent game, I play with other YouTubers locally, Luke from the DM Laird, Nate from WSD20. We did play with Jake from Mini Terrain Domain. That was an in-person game, and when COVID happened, we took it online. It's been online since. It'll probably be online for at least another year. But now we've got, so Jake dropped, and we've got a new player who's in Chicago, so he's 4 hours away, so we can't play that in person when COVID's over. Unless we boot him out of the group, and that probably won't happen because Bill's awesome. So, and we just played that. I think we've done 13 or 14 episodes of that game total. So, slow going, but it's been a lot of fun. Raphael says, in my city, there are 4 gaming stores allowing in-store gameplay, but only 2 stores are mask optional. The other 2 are required. Does your state then doesn't have a mask mandate? They're being pretty loose with it. That's interesting to me. I don't know. I'm in Michigan, and we've got some crazy stuff. Descent into Avernus, the module for D&D. Is it up here? It is. It's up here. It's like a special. It's got like a skull on it from Baldur's Gate. Yeah, we've been playing that for a year now. 14 sessions. I think we've only missed one session. And we've actually the last session we added time. So we're going to actually play that for 4 hours, up to 4 hours, every 4 weeks on Saturdays. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, no, so we've got that. I just did Tyranny of Dragons last night. Last night was a slower session. Players were prisoners in a raider camp. And I let them talk it out and figure things out for like an hour and a half before I finally was like, and crap's hitting the fan no matter what. Like, I was really, really, really loose with it. And then finally I was like, nope, it's time. Let's get the ball rolling. Like, I let you talk and talk and talk about what you want to do for a long time. Normally, I do not let a group talk for like an hour and a half about how they want to try and escape or infiltrate something. That's just a long time, in my opinion. It shouldn't take that long. They kept like talking themselves into something and then talking themselves out of it. It was kind of funny. Excuse me. I thought that they were going to be in the cave at the halfway point of the session going into last night. And then at the halfway point, they had moved 10 feet. They had gotten themselves out of being captured, kind of, and moved like 10 feet. That was the extent of it in an hour and a half of gameplay. So. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have enforcement issues, too. Oh, okay. Just figuring out if I either look for a group for games in the looking for games. I had a play-by-post, but the players are busy. Yeah, so if you go to my Discord, we have a looking for groups or whatever channel, and you can post in there. I used to try and maintain a Google Doc. It's still there in the pin post, but nobody uses it. If you want to check that out, I think some people have like their email and their availability. You can do that. Oh, got a Pulp Cthulhu game starting later today. Haven't even prepped yet. Well, you know, I'm fine with winging sessions sometimes. Analysis paralysis. Yeah, so the end of last session, they came up with the plan of letting themselves be captured so they can get into the camp. And they actually had flipped a mercenary who they could have killed. Offered him like treasure, and he told them exactly what he wanted if he was going to help them. They agreed to it. They got strapped up, and that was that. Like, once we started the session, it's like they had no idea what they actually wanted to do, because they didn't think like, okay, well, they didn't scope out the camp or anything ahead of time. So they didn't know the layout or anything. And then, yeah, they just had no idea what they wanted to do. It's almost like they had multiple different ideas kicking around in their head. They're like, well, if we do this, this might happen. If we do this, this might happen. You know, and as a DM, you don't want to tell them like, well, yeah, if you do that, this is going to happen. There were a couple times where I said, are you sure that you want to do that? You know, and that was it. Like, I didn't get too in depth on it. I even moved, like, so I had things happening. They waited. The one player got himself down right away, which was daytime, and there's over 100 guys in this camp and another 100 kobolds, and he broke himself out, and the others were still like chained up. And so then, even one of the prisoners, who's like a really smart guy, told him, was like, you guys should wait till nighttime to break free, because then you can at least hide under the, you know, under the darkness, right? It's a little bit easier. And so then they waited. Excuse me. They waited, and then they got themselves down. And then from there, they still didn't know what they wanted to do. So they created like a diversion over on one side with fire. One of the players buried himself. He's got like some kind of earth move, like control earth spell or something. And so he buried himself and can only move 5 feet on a turn. And the rest of the group left him, and he's kept doing it. And so he's between 5 tents on fire, and the group is like 300 feet away on the other side of the camp now, because they're not waiting for him. So it's kind of chaotic, actually, even within the group. But by the end of the session, they got to the cave, and that's where we ended it, as they got to the cave. Yeah, just give them that you can do that if you want tone of warning. I mean, yeah, that's basically what I did. But yeah, there was one time where I just literally was like, where I was just like, are you sure that's what you want to do? Like, just like that. So it was pretty funny. It was a good time, for sure. Next time will be interesting because, like I said, you've got 3 of the party at the cave, and one of them way back on the other side of camp, underneath dirt, with a bunch of raiders, running around the camp. They created another diversion too, where they were trying to turn like mercenaries against the guys whose camp it was, because mercenaries are hired by the camp as well. And so they had these like stones that they had placed around that will talk. And he used like his invisible servant to put them places. And it's basically like a little alarm. As someone walks by, it'll say like, oh, they're burning down the tent or whatever. Like, just crazy random like stuff. But yeah, it's good stuff. I enjoy it. It's, if you were to ask me pre-camp what ideas they would come up with, I never would have thought of any of the stuff that they did. It kind of makes it hard to prep sometimes when you have a group that does things completely unexpected. By the way, that's a Horde of the Dragon Queen game. So it's Cultists and Mercenaries. We're about that far in to the book. I have the special edition book up there too. Bill from Roll Stats actually got it for me as a gift. Made my day. I was so excited about that. But yeah. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna get off here, go eat some lunch, try to wake up a little more. I'm still really tired. But yeah, if you guys aren't subscribers yet, hit subscribe. Give us a like. Who knows? I mean, do you guys like this format? It's more of a sit back and chill talk thing. Do you want me to do this again, like on another Sunday morning? It seems like some people showed up, so that's cool. I wasn't sure how this would go over. I actually wasn't really expecting a lot of people, and thought I'd just dive into some projects I'm working on, and if people jumped into the chat, I'd socialize. But quite a few of you showed up and interacted. It was cool. As a DM, this is why I don't prep hardly at all. I have a general idea of what I want to happen, but I let the players indirectly tell me what's going on in my campaign. Yeah, yep, I completely get that. Like, so I run more loose with my homebrew stuff, but when I run modules, it's a little bit different. So, yeah, I thought it was the module. Yeah, it's definitely the module. So I'm running all modules right now except my BlackRock game. And I might, when I do my Rifts one-shot for my patrons, I might use an adventure that's already out of one of their books. Daniel says, I enjoy the format today. Wasn't here from the beginning. Yep, that's okay, though. First time checking in, but seems pretty good. Just finished my morning workout. Oh, I need to work out again. I really need to get back into the gym. Actually, I need to just work out at home. So there's a website that has some really good stuff and programs. I'm going to share it here. I think that's the website. So if you ever want some things you can do at home, like most of it isn't weight-based, but you can get weights and do a lot of the exercises. They have so many different programs, different exercises, different intensity levels, different difficulty levels. That site, I swear by. I used to do that a lot. In fact, so I used to be 313 pounds, I think was the biggest I ever weighed myself. Right now I'm 280. I've been 280 for about 2 years now. But when I was 313, I was like, I got to do something. And that website, I found some really good exercises and started doing them, and lost a bit of weight. And all I've really got is some dumbbells. I've got like 20 and 25 pound dumbbells. We've got some other stuff, but I don't have a lot of workout equipment. I'd like to do that again, actually. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do that later today. That'd be a good idea. Like midday workout. Yeah, that sounds good. So, anyways, yeah, well then maybe I'll do it again. Like I said, next Saturday we got a game. So the only difficult part with these Sunday streams is a lot of times on Saturdays we have games that go late, and sometimes we talk after the game till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I've been trying to be better about not staying up till 1 in the chat, because even after that I can't sleep, and so I'll be up for 2-3 hours after that sometimes. So it's almost like once I get out of the chat and I like have my alone time, I start thinking about the next game and like, okay, so if this happened tonight, what's going to happen next time? And I start just in my head thinking about all sorts of stuff. So I just used 2 1-gallon jugs of water for my weights. That's brilliant. When I was little, my cousin had Clorox bleach containers that were filled with water, and he put them on a broken mop, like the stick, and he used to bench press them. And he said he would do it like for an hour, like straight. And he was like, yeah, I need to, like, the problem is his stick wasn't long enough where he could just continue to add to it. So he didn't. But yeah, we always joked about that. But it worked. Our 5-year-old son, I even mentioned doing something like that with. The problem with the 1-gallon jugs, if it's not like a good screw top, if it's like the milk tops that just push down, like if you drop it or something, it's gonna spill everywhere. And that sucks. But, you know. You probably already know that. So, anyways, but yeah, gonna spend some time today doing videos. That's the big thing. The whole idea about this is that it gets me up. Because if I didn't get up, I'd probably still be in bed right now, to be honest, since we were up to like 2 a.m. But I would probably still be in bed. And now I'm awake. I'm out in the game room. I'm gonna go eat lunch. And then I'm gonna come back out and probably start working on editing the videos. And hopefully, within the next few hours, I can have my videos edited for the next 3 weeks. So that's kind of the idea of this stream. It's more of a get my butt in gear kind of stream. But I really like this. And these chat things, like communicating with you guys, it actually motivates me a lot too. It energizes me. Like when I get off here, I'm gonna be all like ready to go, you know? So that's what's awesome. So anyways, but thanks for joining. I will do something like this again next week for sure, especially if it worked how I hoped, and I am able to get the stuff done that I want to for the rest of the day, because that's the kicker right there. So thanks for watching again, Andrew, Danielle, Raphael, Paul. I know you're not in here anymore. Game On, all you guys, thanks again, and you know, all that. So I will see you guys next time. Game on. And at this point, I don't know where it's going to cut out, but I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. So if you still hear me saying this, then cool. If not, no big deal. That's interesting. That is very interesting.